Hello and welcome to the Social Distancing Podcast. It's the 3rd of April 2020 and it's been 11 days since the social and physical distancing measures were brought in by the government. Today is a little bit different. We're going to have a little bit of a chat with Ben, who was here previously, and see how things have gone. Welcome, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Are you okay?
Yeah, pretty good. It's a bizarre situation we're finding ourselves in now, and 11 days in, it's starting to tell.
Saying it's 11 days is quite strange, to be honest with you. It could be anywhere between 5 and 100. I don't even know what day it is.
Completely agree with you on that. To be fair, I only know what day it is because my brother's still working and I know when he works and when he doesn't. So
You've got to...
that's all well and good, but next week he's off work. So I'm going to be all over the place and not know which way's up.
That's going to bring new problems as well, because my partner is currently off of work and we're starting to reach that stage now where she's looking at me like she hates me.
Oh.
I've been trying to get something over in our house. I've been trying to get sick with it as a thing, and it's just not. Every time I say it, she looks like she's going to kill me.
Yeah, I think you need some social distancing from each other at this point.
Yeah.
I also think sick with it might have been something back in the 90s, Ben. So
well, as I said,
maybe she's got a point.
Don't know where I am at the minute. Could be the 90s.
So has your situation changed at all? Are you still working? And presumably it's just yourself and your partner.
Yep, still just three of us. We haven't killed each other yet, and we've not developed a whole new life yet in that short time. So it's going to go one of two ways for most people. I think they're either going to come out with a baby or single. It's going to go like that. But no, we are the same. It's only been 11 days.
No, you say that about being single at the end of it. We're speaking to my mother, who works in law, and they already believe that they're going to get an upturn in divorces following on from this.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, it is testing relationships.
There's only so much gardening you can do. Let's face it. I think that the strongest relationships will survive the however long it's going to be trapped in a house together. But unfortunately, you can't get rid of yours because yours is a brother. So
yes, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. But it's fine because he works nights. I live in the day, so it's a case that we're not bumping into each other all the time. So we do get each other plenty of distance. So it's not all that bad.
That's fine. Working wise, is I'm still working. In fact, that in a way has kind of got a bit better because I found that there's a new normal now. I'm sort of getting up at the same time as I normally would. I'm working and my days are full. It doesn't feel like a regular working from home day. It feels like a day in the office, apart from I'm just not in the office. So that's leveled out a bit.
You managed to keep some sort of normality then, or form your own normality in this time.
In a work set, well, normals are. Yeah, that's an interesting term. It's been incredibly busy, to be honest with you. So I've not really had much time to think about things during the work time.
Oh, that's it's crazy, really, that you've been able to keep this sort of normality or bring some sort of normality to your life. Currently, I'm all over the place, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
there's no work for me, so there's no structure, and unfortunately, I've not put together any sort of structure right now.
Have you found anything that you can do that would that you can entertain yourself with that you wouldn't normally do?
Well, the obvious one is this podcast. It does give me a bit of an outlay. It gives me something to be thinking about creatively. Come on here, talk with people, and of course, editing. I have one thing to say so far about podcasting. I had no idea how much work went into editing.
Really? Well, that's because I'm swearing every other word. You just can't hear it.
That's it. You've said all the swears.
So have you not dived? It wouldn't be this podcast if it's not mentioned. Have you not downloaded the Disney Plus yet?
I still haven't downloaded the Disney Plus. No, of course, something that's been mentioned often on the podcast already. No, I haven't got around to it, if I'm honest. I've had quite a few other things to be doing. I'm a gamer, so I've just started playing games that I haven't played for a long time, and
Okay.
I've really started enjoying some games again. I say I don't have a routine, but about 9:30 when my brother goes out for work, every night, as soon as he's gone out of that door, I turn the PlayStation on and I put Rock Band on and I sing. And I sing for about 2 or 3 hours.
That sounds like a great way to release some anxiety. Maybe there's some way we can do it over, get a video going.
I tell you, I did record a video. I was going to send it to the engineer lads that I work with, but even I was a bit too ashamed when I realised how badly the singing was.
Yeah, what you don't want is any kind of reality coming into your own delusions. I've discovered that.
Oh no, you know, when I've been locked in this house for however many weeks we're going to be, and I'm singing every day on that, I am going to believe that I can sing. People will need to hear this voice by the end of this.
I think I had a similar thing actually. I think I mentioned when I was on last time that I'd been practicing my guitar, and I was playing my guitar last night, and it got to what was 8 o'clock, and there was a split. All the clapping and the cheering started going off, and I'm sad to say there was a split second there where I thought, "Is that for me?" And then I realised that it's not. It's for the obviously to show appreciation to all the frontline and NHS workers. Which yeah, but there was that moment where I thought, "Is this me playing my guitar and I'm getting all this cheers and praise from my street?"
Unfortunately, you don't have a nationwide appreciation for your guitar playing at the minute. But yeah, the clapping for the NHS workers, something that is being done at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights every week. People showing their appreciation for the staff, and in fact, I believe that we're sort of extending it to all the people that are still working, that are actually bringing the goods for us and the likes. Something that I spoke about on the third podcast with Chris, who is an NHS worker, and he did say he did get emotional with it, and he's glad that the nation are appreciative of the work that they're doing.
Yeah, well, it was crazy. The first night I went out there, and there was fireworks. I mean, I question how essential fireworks are, but good on them. Because we really need to show appreciation to everybody who is providing essential services so that we can all carry on being comfortable in the hard times.
It's interesting still, because I still see a lot of people out and about working, and I'm not 100% sure that they've actually really determined what is essential and what isn't. I know of engineers that are working at other companies, or electricians that are working, and plumbers, and I understand that you need operational things within your household, but these are people that are just maintaining things. They aren't actually fixing broken things, and I think that we're probably going to get to another level of social distancing or physical distancing in this country, and it's probably going to be taking some more of these jobs out.
I feel that way as well. I mean, I received an email from B&Q the other day that says, "We're continuing to try and give you your essential home improvement items." And he said, "Is it essential? I mean, there's if you're fixing a boiler, I suppose, but is paint essential? I don't know."
Well, if I'm honest, I've got my own little bit of a story on this anyway. On day 2 of the lockdown in this country, it was my house decided, or at least my shower decided, that was the opportune moment to break.
Well,
so couldn't have timed it any better. So the cold water still works in the shower, but hot doesn't anymore. So something wrong with the mixer on that, I believe. But yeah, I got in touch with the landlord and said, "Look, just to let you know, the shower is broken, but I do have a second bathroom, so I do have another shower." So I said to him, "It's non-essential. It doesn't need to be done. I want to let you know, so in time you can get somebody over to sort it out." That afternoon, I had a plumber at my door. "Oh, I've come to look at your shower, mate." "Oh, okay. Well, I don't need to, but yeah, if you want to." He came straight in. "Oh, can't believe all this social nonsense. Oh, I have to keep working because I'm self-employed." So, and then all of a sudden my brain's going, "This isn't essential. This guy is still working. Oh, this isn't right." But apparently I'm getting a new shower on Tuesday. So
even shower suppliers are essential. I mean, I'd argue if you are truly socially isolating, you don't need a shower. That's one of the few perks of this. Who needs a shower? I'm inside all day.
Now, anybody who knows me would know that a few years ago I did made the decision to shave my head because everything was getting a bit questionable up on top. Now, social distancing means that people aren't seeing me anymore. So I'm intrigued. What I'm going to do is just leave it and see how it grows, see how chaotic it is.
Go for the Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, questionable on Hulk Hogan, but
see, I had this thought as well, and it's a similar. I'm in a predicament now. As everyone who knows me, I've got a beard. It's not an enormous beard. It's an in-between beard. Now, do I, because no one has to see me, shave it off and see what I look like without it, or try and grow it as long as I possibly can? And I'm going to be stuck in this no man's land, I think.
Well, I can answer on that one. I shaved mine off.
Well, maybe I will. I don't. The last time I did this, then I always thought with having a beard, it was always a bit of a safety net for getting old. So I could shave it off and look younger again instantly. And whenever I started to feel a bit old, shave it off, looked younger. Last time I did it, the face under there is aged, so I didn't look any younger. So I think I'm going to leave it. I'm now at a point in my life where I look younger with the beard, which is bad.
Oh, yeah, that is bad. For me, it does. If I get rid of the beard, it does make me look younger. It makes me look like I have more weight, but makes me look younger. And that's mainly because I've got grey coming through the beard now. So, so it's a good chance to, if I'm honest, it's a chance to keep nice and clean shaven, and I don't get food caught in the beard anymore or anything like that, because I don't have to look nice for anyone at this point.
And you don't have any food?
Well, food's questionable.
How's your shopping experience been?
Shopping experience has been difficult and different, I'm gonna say. Okay. And I say that in regards to I was speaking to Peter on the 4th episode about not particularly wanting to go down the shops. I struggle socially at times anyway. So when I go to the shops, it's like, right, I'm going to that shop and I have to time it at this time. So there's less people there and I could definitely get a parking space. And I need this, this, and this. And I've got to make sure I pick all them up. And for me, it's always, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but this is my challenge for me going anywhere, really. I have to plan everything to the nth degree. But now I can't even plan for that. I got down to the small supermarket down at the bottom of my road, went down there, saw people queuing outside, saw the distance, great, no problem, lovely, with social distancing, wonderful. So I got to the front of the queue. Then I realised that there's like a guard in front of the door telling people when they can and can't go in. Yeah, well, he stood right next to the door. So everybody who goes in there for their shopping has to walk past him. So constantly all day people are walking past him. So if he's got it, then wow, less said the better. But even inside, you've got the social distancing, you've got the lines on the floor telling you where you can and can't walk, and you've got to leave this distance for other people. That's all right if the people that actually worked in the shop actually cared about those lines. I was in there today. There was 4 of them stood together, having a good old natter to each other. There must have been 4 of them all within like the 2 meters of each other, like really close. One of the girls has her hands on 2 of the guys there and tapping them and stuff like that. And then she walks straight past 3 customers, and it's like, are we doing social distancing? Or aren't we doing social distancing? In a simple trip from me to the shop, 11 people came within the 2 meters. That's not me walking into that. That's people walking into my space. And I'm just finding it, I don't know if people are taking it seriously at this point.
Yeah, or I suppose it's an alien concept. So the while you're out and about, as soon as you're probably taking it seriously until you start thinking, oh, what sauce do I want? Do I want it like this? Do I want it like that? And then you kind of forget that you just revert straight back to your original habits, I suppose. I haven't been to a big food store. shamefully sent Kate out. I stayed behind, lazing in the sun, while she went out to hunt for food, bit like a lion. I watched over the pride while Kate went out. But this morning was the first time I went out, and I went to a small local shop.
Yeah.
And same situation, bouncer on the door, but the shop was completely empty. And there was a marker around the actual till saying leave this much distance to protect the person working behind the till. But what the person behind the till was doing was not packing the shopping into a bag. They were scanning it and then just putting it on the bag. So you had to step forward to pack it anyway. So as you were saying, I don't know whether everybody's actually following it.
It's weird. It's like there's good intentions out there. Everybody's got a certain amount of good intention, but I think there's so much that could improve in that regard. It's bizarre watching people. In fact, I did see one of the guys today. He got gloves on, but no face mask. I'll be fully honest. I didn't walk out with gloves or a face mask on myself. I'm not showing any symptoms, and nobody in my house is. But I'm trying to keep my distance. But he got gloves on. But he then, with his gloves on, started rubbing his eye. And how many things have you touched, and now you're rubbing your eyes? It's like, yes, good intentions, great intentions for people, but I don't think people simply wearing gloves is not doing anything if you're touching your face with the gloves.
They're not a magical thing. This is a complaint I have with Subway sandwich stores. The people in there wear gloves to make your sandwiches. Then they take the cash off you, don't change their gloves, and go and make another sandwich. Like, you might as well not do it with gloves.
Almost completely agree with you on that. It's the bizarreness, but then again, that's a different time and a different debate, I guess, with making sandwiches compared to now. But
absolutely.
So supermarkets for you haven't really been a thing. You've just been let Kate out and do it.
Yes, yeah. I don't know whether I'm just avoiding them because I don't want to face the strangeness. I'm not sure, but we're only going in single file anyway. We're not going out just to reduce the impact. We're being quite responsible, I suppose, by only one of us goes out if we're doing anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, at the local one that I went to, there was a couple that were going to walk in, and they stopped them and said only one can walk in at a time.
Right.
And the guy said, well, what's the point of me even going in there? And the person there said, this is what people deem by, is it essential for you to go in there? And he went, oh, no, there's no point in me queuing. She knows all the stuff that she needs to get, so I'll just stand out here. And it's like, oh, okay, we've had a bit of thought. Everybody in that queue's gone, oh, yeah, of course, we don't need to walk around together and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Makes sense. At least people are applying things sensibly.
I don't know if Kate would be grateful for getting out and about. At least you've got your work to keep you busy at the minute. I'm guessing Kate's probably looking for something to entertain her right now. How is Kate getting on?
She seems to be fine. Probably, obviously, like as you say, I've got my work to keep me entertained. Whereas the garden has been painted, so there's nothing else to be done in there. I say, luckily, it was Kate's birthday fell last weekend, so we couldn't go out and do anything. But one of her presents she got was a little ukulele, so I've been hearing that twanging in there. So I think she's keeping herself entertained with the television and a ukulele at the moment.
We are going to be a band, aren't we? You with the guitar, Kate with the ukulele, and I can sing us all the way.
Oh, that's amazing. We just need a drummer. If we can get a drummer on as a guest, we'll be well away.
There we go. The isolation band.
It's got a ring to it.
One thing I have noticed from your social medias, and certainly Kate's, is food. Kate is making food for you. And it looks nice. I did see donuts, and was it Yorkshire puddings?
Yeah, yesterday there was just I think it was inspired by the Great British Bake Off, the Stand Up to Cancer one that's on at the moment. There was Kate made 12 massive Yorkshire puddings, and I ate 10 of them, and I would do it again in an instant. I'm not ashamed of myself at all.
This is leading us down to the next path, really.
Yeah.
Oh, food and fitness. How are you dealing so far with keeping a decent diet and keeping yourself fit and going?
My diet slipped a little bit, I have to say. I think being in all the time is quite difficult. This and the not being able to completely plan your meals out, as you said earlier, with the not knowing what the shops are going to have. So you just kind of grab what you can and make what you need out of it, which is fine. Fitness has actually been okay. I've been doing my regular fitness at night time, and at lunch times, just to get away from my computer, I've been doing a bit of DDP yoga. So
See, my brother's actually told me I should be looking at a bit of DDP yoga,
I tell you
something
what,
steady to go at.
it's the kind of thing, because you see the word yoga and you think, this isn't for me. Look, no way am I doing this. And it kind of reminded me of the first time that I went to the spa in Center Parcs, where I was like, what am I doing? This isn't me. What am I doing? This is horrendous. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing it all the way around. I shouldn't be doing this. And then as soon as I put on that white dressing gown, I thought, I look a bit like Sean Connery. And that was it. I was well away. So it's a little bit like that. This yoga, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? And then after you start getting into it, because it's got a lot of strength building in there, a lot of calisthenics stuff mixed with the yoga. So you do start noticing strength increases as well. It's not as you'd think.
I'm gonna give it a chance, definitely. Like I say, I've been my brother's been telling me to get on it and give it a go himself. Anyway, so
yeah, I highly recommend it. It's actually got a whole cooking section on there as well, so it can show you what meals you can make.
So. Well, we'll debate on what meals I can and can't make. That might be more down to my culinary prowess.
So what have you been doing? What have you been, is it I think from experiencing you before, it was always chips, beans and something golden.
Oh, we're not on chips, beans and something golden at the minute.
No,
I haven't been putting anything in the oven really as such. I haven't ate this much bread, potatoes and cheese in years.
Okay. I think in the fitness world, that's what we call bulking. So well done.
Yeah, bulking, but not in a good way. Really, not in a good way. No, yeah, I don't know what it is, but everything seems to be sandwiches or cheese on toast or ravioli on toast or this. By the way, people, this is the height of my cooking ability. This is why it's probably the only things I'm cooking right now. And I learned how to do jacket potatoes. I have to say that because I'd never done a jacket potato before in my life. And I didn't realize how simple things were.
I always found jacket potatoes quite difficult. I know I can actually cook. This makes me sound more useless than I deserve. But I've put jacket potatoes in the oven before, and they've come out just as a potato. I don't know how that happened. Hours I've left them in there.
So yeah, with the food, definitely not doing great. However, I have to say, one thing I'm trying to do. When I'm working on the road, it's very difficult to eat well during the day because you don't have ready access to food and stuff like that.
Yep.
Work away several days a week, so I can't pack up every morning and stuff like that. One thing I turned to a year or so ago was like protein or meal replacement shakes.
Yep.
So it basically just took a fast food out of my day. Well, I didn't bulk buy from the supermarkets. I kind of bulk buy these meal replacement shakes.
Right, yeah.
At this day, I could drink the meal replacement shakes 4 times a day, which would be 1,600 calories. So if I did 4 a day, I think I could get 16 days out of them.
Okay,
that is the amount that I've gone. So I'm currently trying to get myself off the cheese and the chocolate because the cheese and chocolate taste so good, and onto these meal replacement shakes.
Wow. Do you know that you can get chocolate flavored ones of those?
I know. I can't stand them. The berry flavored's for me, thanks. I didn't really like the chocolate ones. My brother drinks the chocolate ones, but no. I think the last count we had somewhere over about 160 of these bottles in our house because the two of us have both ordered them. So yeah, in a worst case scenario, and I don't really want to go to the supermarket, I can live off them for a little bit.
Well, I've got a question to ask you. This from one of your previous pods.
Right.
Right. What's the deal with having a full English in a rap?
Oh, yeah, the rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't have bread, so that's kind of the reason behind the wrap. No, I have been eating egg and bacon quite a lot as well. Yeah, this is the problem with me being close to the oven and the hob. I've just been eating what I want, not what I should. And this has definitely become a problem.
That's fine. I think we'll just all emerge from this all larger. We'll just have to have sort of we'll maybe have to keep the whole 2 meter distance for very different reasons.
Yeah, my waistline isn't the best. I mean, it isn't the best usually. However, I can inform people that sadly, it's only been 11 days, but I've already put on 5 pounds.
Well,
I am
that's
worried.
well. This I've been listening to your other guests, and this brings me on neatly to this. And how many exercises can you do with a sofa? And the answer is a lot. So I think I can help you out.
Oh, sofa exercises, go for it.
Sofa exercises. I'm not going to give you all of them. I mean, well, I'll drip feed you them as we have these chats. But there's more than you think that you can do with a sofa. And I've written down in my sheets here that we can do a pistol squat mainly because it sounds cool.
Pistol squat, yeah. Like I can pretend I'm a cowboy, yeah.
Yeah, you keep thinking that for now.
Cool. I've got the shirt on for it, so we're doing well there.
Right, so here we go. Stand in front of your sofa, just like you're going to sit down on it.
Right.
And all you're going to do is sit down. But there's a slight difference. Before you sit down, just lift one of your legs out in front of you and sit down on one leg, and then stand back up again and do that 10 times on either side.
Right.
And I want you to report back to me how many you managed to do.
No, sounds good. Sounds good. I'll give that one a go. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Now I can tell you. Now here on the other side, I have been eating a lot, but the realization of the weight and kind of the short breath that I'm feeling right now did make me go out and have a run yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, usually if I jump into the gym, I can do about 8K, something like that on a treadmill if I go, but I don't really road run that often. So it was a different experience altogether. And I have to say, in a mile and a half, I felt like my lungs were going to give up.
I think a mile and a half is quite impressive because the last time I tried to run, it was years ago, and someone at work challenged me. So you go to the gym, you should go for a run. It's great. So I said, all right then, it should be easy. Yeah, whatever. I can squat. Running's pretty easy, isn't it? It's what kids do. So I brought my trainers in and I started running, and about 3 seconds after leaving Works building, I started regretting it. Like I was thinking, this is bad. I can't breathe. It hurts. It's horrible. Why do I want to do this? I've got a terrible, rebellious streak inside. A lot of people will have that voice in their head that says, "Come on, you can do it. You can do it." I have that, and then the other rebellious voice says, "Don't listen to that. Don't do it. Why is it telling you what to do? You shouldn't do what it says." So I stop, and I managed to jog just out of sight of Works building. So I thought, now they can't see me out the window. And then I walked around the field, walked back, and then jogged back up the driveway of work again. And I said, hey, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. But actually, I just went for a very mild walk. So, and I've never tried again. That was the last time I attempted any kind of running.
Yeah, the running's it's a tough one unless you're particularly loving running. I guessing it's one of them that it does take it out of you. It's I'm not the biggest fan, if I'm honest, but I'm generally intimidated when I go into a gym. So it's easier for me to just go and find a treadmill than play around with other machines and weights and stuff. So I just revert to running. But now I know that I can run a mile and a half. I need to start doing that a little bit more. So I think do a little bit of around the block and stuff like that. But I did put on a video on YouTube, and it was a beginner's fitness workout.
Okay.
And I was like, right, that's what I look for, beginner's fitness. And it was a 20-minute workout. I thought, great, nice, steady 20-minute workout. Right. How does this go down? Lovely. First minute is squats. Right. Minute full of squats. Then jumping jacks. Cool. Then a minute worth of squats. Okay. Then a minute worth of jumping jacks. That's 4 minutes. That's pretty intense there. I've got to say, I lasted about 8 minutes with a few other things thrown in there, but my Lord, there was nothing beginner about that.
Well, it's actually quite a good point though, looking on YouTube for these things, because at the moment a lot of the fitness channels, because they're all isolated as well, and they're making home workout videos, so it's a really good resource to, if anybody's wanting to work out, if they usually go to the gym, if they don't usually go to the gym and they're worried about all of their cooked breakfast wraps that they've been eating while they're isolated.
Really?
There's loads of stuff on there that you can sort of use to get into the fitness world. I recommend there's one called the Buff Dudes, which isn't as bad. That's not as explicit as it sounds. There's two brothers, and they're doing a whole program on there at the moment where they're showing you what you can do at home with things around the house.
Sounds great. It's something to be looking into. I'll have a look into the Buff Dudes and report back. See if it's something down my down or up my street, I should say.
Okay.
So the sort of leads us on now, really. I mean, we're talking about entertainment and stuff that's on the TV, on the YouTube and stuff. But one big thing for us this weekend, one thing that we've been do we say that we've been looking forward to for a while?
That's a bit strong.
Well, we've been wrestling fans since we were young.
Yes, that's accurate.
Every year we watch WrestleMania because we're wrestling fans for a long, long time. It's almost an institution for us, and we sort of have to do it every year almost at this point. But wrestling has been one of the bizarre things in the current situation, the current outbreak. We're wrestling for WWE and AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling, have continued to put on shows, but playing to empty arenas. Now, this weekend is WrestleMania for WWE. Usually, it's played out in a massive American football stadium of 90,000 plus people in there. And this weekend, it's going to be an empty arena in what is a glamorous sports hall, I guess.
It won't look like a sports hall.
Yeah, it's a warehouse, an empty warehouse. Are you looking forward to it?
For all the wrong reasons, I suppose. I'm more interested to know what it's going to look like, more than it's like that watching a car crash, rather than actually looking forward to the show itself and the matches that are on it.
Yeah, it's intriguing, certainly how it plays out to that empty crowd. But one good thing that we've got is we've got a little community of people that all do watch it. So we will have the chance to be interacting with each other at the time of doing it.
Yeah.
So it is something to look forward to in that regard. It's going to be a social event for us.
That's right. It's an interesting point. I'm wondering with these, a lot of things, virtual parties going on. Is that something that can really replace that as getting together on a yearly basis to watch WrestleMania and have a few drinks and have a laugh about what's going on? Do you think it's going to be the same?
I don't know if it's going to be the same. One thing you probably won't get is if I fall asleep watching WrestleMania this year, how rephrase it? If I am tired, I won't fear falling asleep because I'm with people. I won't not want to fall asleep. I'd be more than happy to just go, right, I've had enough of this, sort of lull my head and just let myself go to sleep, rather than if I had people around or it was at somebody's house, I'd be like, oh, I need to get another drink, need to keep going. So a little bit less pressure.
I think I'm the opposite. I don't mind just slowly falling to sleep on one of my friends. I fear falling asleep and drooling while the camera's pointing at me for 4 or 5 hours straight.
It's interesting though, because it's the first year they've split it into 2 days, WrestleMania, where WrestleMania is usually what, all in all with the pre-show and stuff like that, it could be 8 or 9 hours.
Oh,
nowadays.
somewhere between that and 30 hours, I guess. Yeah,
It's almost a full day's work just to sit and watch it.
it's a marathon, isn't it?
Yeah, so they've actually split it down this year into two, and it was more because of the social distancing for the wrestlers and them working with fewer people. So they've recorded everything up front, but also the people that'll be working on the day, they'll be able to limit it if they put it over 2 days. So it's going to be interesting to see what an event looks like that's only 3 or 4 hours long, whereas these used to be the norm for us back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, and the people say we don't have as good attention spans these days. You've never sat through a 12-hour WrestleMania.
To be fair, I've sat and watched a Japanese wrestling show that was on for 7.5 hours, and even that was something I really do enjoy. Here we go talking about the nerdy things, Japanese wrestling. But even that is something I really enjoy. 7.5 hours was far too long for it. So yeah, this cutting it back down into smaller chunks. It's going to be, I guess, interesting at least.
Are you planning on watching that over both nights, or are you going to join it together into one big long?
Well, I don't think I could join it together. I don't think I'll watch it the Saturday night. I might watch it in the day on the Sunday, give myself a break, and then watch it live on the Sunday. That was always the intention, was to watch it live on the Sunday anyway.
Sounds good. Any other sort of sporting things you're going to be watching? Is anything else even going on? I'm not a sporty person. You know this.
Yeah, no, there's nothing going on. The only football league that I'm aware of that is going on is the Belarusian Football League.
Okay.
And the president's come out in the country there and said, drink vodka, it will make you immune. So I'm not quite sure that they're giving everybody the best advice.
So that's the official health, that's the social distancing podcast official advice on the coronavirus situation.
Drink that is not vodka. Our official advice. That is definitely not our official advice.
No, our official advice is wash your hands. Alcohol gel is second best. I think I learned something.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. It's wash your hands rather than sanitize, and stay inside if you don't need to be outside.
Yeah, that's it. That's the message.
But yeah, certainly in Belarus at the moment, the football league is still going on, and people are drinking quite a lot of vodka because they believe it makes them immune.
Those football matches must be amazing.
Oh, maybe. I hope that the football players are also drinking vodka, because that would be brilliant.
Yeah, that's how I took it. Is that not what's going on?
I don't know. No. I think it's more the fans.
or they're not allowed to get within 2 meters of each other, so it actually looks like a foosball table. They've got, or maybe we could have carried on the Premier League, but just put them all in Zorbs, and they could have all played Zorb football.
Oh, there we go. There was the idea. So that's how we finish the league. Do we need to go to the FA with this?
Yeah, I think so. That is, I believe, 100% safe from infection.
Yeah, in that Zorb, you can't. You can't be affecting anybody else.
You can't even get within 2 meters of each other. I've seen people try.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious seeing them. In fact, if anybody's bored this week, have a look at some Zorb football or something along those lines, or Zorb rugby. It's quite funny watching people get barreled over in those things.
I've always fancied to go at it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'd love a go. Well, I would have loved to go when I was a bit younger. I think my body now might not like it as much. I'd probably enjoy it, but I think the pains the next day might be a bit much.
Well, I think we should have a social distancing podcast guests game of Zorb football when we emerge out the other side.
Yeah, we'll see who the guests are. I am worried if I'm going to get anybody that's particularly older or not in a physically well condition as ourselves, if they're going to be in the Zorbs. So
okay, well,
could be interesting. So all in all, really, it's 11 days in. Yourself, you're keeping up well. Your spirits high, mentally, everything going all right.
I seem to be all right. Yeah, it is. Like I say, the still routine of work and things settling down a little bit. I've kept my positivity, I think.
That's great to hear. Great to hear. Well, thanks for doing the pod with us today, Ben. It's been great to have a chat. I mean, it's great to have a chat in general, let alone just on the pod, but about the things that we're going through at the minute. let's see what the next few weeks brings of this, and let's make sure that we can sort of keep plodding and that everything just keeps going well for us.
Yeah, that's right. And I've been enjoying listening to the other pods you've been putting out. So keep doing the great work.
Lovely. Cheers for that. And thanks for listening, guys. It's been nice having you today. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast. If you'd like to keep up with what's happening, then follow us on Twitter at TheSDpod. Any questions you have for the podcast, please send these to TheSDpod@gmail.com. Take care.